Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, doo-dah day.
Great music, huh? Hello, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. Stupid O'Clock was an awful lot of fun tonight. We had one of those instances where Chris Walker was home and was able to join us for 99% of the show, if not all of it. And it's always fun when Chris is around. We got silly. We got really silly, but that's what you can expect from John and Joe Dog and Chris and myself when we get together. We make no apologies. We are silly. We like it that way. If you don't, sorry. If you like what you're about to see tonight, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you don't, I don't care. Not trying to get monetized anyway. That just means they put commercials in my show, and I don't want commercials in my show. So and there's the delightful Miss Megan in the comments. And with me tonight, we've got Aunt Donna. Joe Bachman might be here later. Rich might be here later. I don't know. But right now, you just got to put up with me and the beautiful Aunt Donna.
Just the two of us?
Just the way you like it.
I was going to say, yeah, but is that really allowed?
I don't know. We're on camera. We got to behave.
I'd rather be good than behave.
Challenge accepted.
Rich said he'd probably be in after his gaming.
Yeah. And from what I recall, it's basically his regular gaming night, and the group has a lot of fun, and everything is going real good. So Oh, and Facebook just told me it's time to get ready to start my show.
Well, you better get ready then.
I'm wearing a shirt. Is that not good enough?
If you have to.
Hey, believe me, it's hot enough in here. I wish I didn't have to. It's 93 degrees in this room. It's only 72 outside. I should open the doors to the outside and turn on the attic fan, but that would wake Lindsay up. So, okay. Now we got Facebook user throwing emoticons at us. Um, a devilish pirate, Sean Sullivan or Mrs. Sean Sullivan, Janice, it may be. And Megan's in the audience tonight. Um,
Yes.
I'm awfully sweet on Megan. I
Mm,
really am. She's a delightful lady. Um, and I only know her from Hallowcon, and only the brief time that I've been able to wander outside and talk to her while she's busy cooking. And still, delightful conversationalist.
Looking forward to seeing her again this year.
Definitely, definitely. Um, looking forward to seeing everybody at Hallowcon this year. Lindsay has been working her fingers to the bone getting stuff ready for the vendor's table. And I'm sitting there going, I get maybe 5 copies of one book that I can sell, and still waiting on my publisher to put out the new edition of the Spaceport Bar stories and put out the other 2 books that I sent him back before the Great Plague happened. Um, and basically, it's not his fault. They've been sitting on the shelves for this long. His family was seriously impacted by the uh, the plague. So I cut him some slack. I really do. It's no big deal. Things are much better now. They just put out 2 books, one of which he's got a story in,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, and it's hey, it looks good. As soon as it's, I really ought to go and pre-order it, but at the moment I got to watch the budget just a little bit because we had a wild weekend in Macon at the event for my little brother being honored by the group that he's involved with, and um, uh, that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, they they put on a good show in the sense convention is often referred to as a show,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't a convention, so to speak. But
I'm
oh,
glad you
okay.
enjoyed it.
I certainly did. I certainly did. Even got to dress up. I was wearing a suit and tie.
And pictures were taken.
Not by me. I know better. Um, somebody took pictures, I'm sure. I got my hair cut.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and I trimmed up my beard because mom likes it that way. She wants me to shave it off, but Lindsay likes the beard, and I'm going, sorry, mom,
Hmm.
you lose.
Yeah.
You're my mother, but she's my wife.
Hmm.
Yep. Um, there's
Yeah,
loyalty, and then there's loyalty.
Carl's been told he has to have some sort of facial hair, or because he could not afford to divorce me.
I'll accept that statement at face value. Um, but remember, when you got nothing left to lose,
He got plenty to lose.
yeah, that would be a major setback in anybody's book.
Well, thank you.
Now, let's see. We don't normally have topics or anything like that. We just kind of free form and talk along, and anything that comes to mind gets spoken out loud. So you have been warned, audience in waiting. Um, it's not quite the green room, but we do get a little risque from time to time because the hour is late, and we generally have an audience in the single digits. So it's always fun. Oh, I have a great deal of fun with it.
Yeah, yeah. Although I told Chris he owes me 2 hugs at Hallowcon after scarring me with those commercials. What?
Now I know it. Now I know I've got to have the camera ready when you get those hugs, because dare I say it? Dare I say it?
Go ahead. You want to. You know you do.
Chris is one of those guys where ladies really like him.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only is he kind
And sweet.
very sweet, he's also very pretty. Or so I've been told by a
Yeah.
couple of married ladies as I was hanging out with. I'm going, hey, well, no.
I'm not much on blondes, but I'll make an exception for Chris.
Somehow I think there's a statement about eating crackers and wouldn't kick him out, sort of thing that covers that. He's a very handsome young lad. He really is. And one of these days, some lady's going to come along that realizes he's a catch, and she better be worthy of him, because if she's not, there are going to be a lot of people upset at any mistreatment of our Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should gloss gently over that statement and kind of go on to the next, the next topic. Because I don't want to get thumped by him. He's in far better shape than I am, and he's bigger than John.
That's just no, won't say it.
Oh, yeah.
John is compact. We'll say that.
Oh, he's got muscles where most guys don't have places to have muscles.
Mm-hmm.
I really, he should be a wrestler, or one of those guys that throws the telephone pole around at the Scottish events, the caber toss.
I was going to say cabers, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then I knew that you would get distracted thinking of him in a kilt. So we'll just give you a moment for that imagination to roam where it will.
I'm good.
Yeah, Megan. You've met the man. You know what we're talking about. And that led to the running joke of the first year that I was at Hallowcon. I thought you'd be taller. And after I said that, it's like everybody got the memo, and that's exactly what everybody said to anybody else when they first met us. I thought you'd be taller. Um,
Actually, John was the only one that surprised me with
uh,
his height. Yeah.
um, he he does. His presence makes you on the camera makes you
Mhm.
think he is much larger than he is. I mean, he looks like he ought to be 8 feet tall and about 4 feet wide, but he's actually about my height, and
I think he's shorter than you, isn't he?
um, if so, it's by a very tiny amount. We're pretty much
Mhm.
on eye level.
Okay.
I'm 5'11", and it, that's a good height for my weight. That means I'm almost as wide as I am tall, but um, I blame the muscle relaxers.
They can do it to you.
Well, no, I was actually quite trim and fit before I got the desk job running the computer most of the time. I was doing 12 hours a day of what amounted to aerobic exercise,
Mm.
and that kept my excesses in check and let me burn off all the extra weight before it actually had time to settle. But once I was trapped in a chair, the extra weight found a way to sneak in. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Weight's tricky that way.
mm, and besides which, I like food. I like food almost as much as I like girls. Almost.
Mm. Not touching that. Not touching that. That's what she said.
Mm. At, yeah, the way to a man's heart's through his lunchbox. Ah, Lindsay's found that out, and she's a damn good cook. Uh, she's not
Oh,
often in the mood when she has time, or has time when she's in the mood, but um, I wind up with I wind up taking more food to work than I should be allowed to eat in a single day. Seriously.
oh,
Uh, I think the woman wants me to get fat so that no other woman will ever look at me again.
hmm. That doesn't always work. There's some of us it goes for the personality and the facial hair.
Mm, and the voice.
Or well, yeah, it's always the voice.
Oh, that's a superpower. I learned it
Mm.
from my dad actually, and it was supposed to only apply to bird dogs, but when you're a teenager, you learn the alternate applications, shall we say? Uh,
Yeah.
it's not like I would just be able to walk up and give a whole platoon of soldiers orders, but I could probably walk up to a team of cheerleaders and get their attention.
You get
But
my
only in a purely platonic way. Only in a purely platonic way. Yeah, if it had only worked when I was in high school, had to wait till I was in college before I learned all this stuff. Ah, oh well. Next time I reincarnate, I'm going to try and remember all this stuff. Um, I will be dangerous then.
Kind of dangerous now.
Oh, honey.
Mm-hmm.
My little brother is the pretty one. And you better believe his wife keeps him under lock and key. But oh, he's I grew up listening to little girls sigh over how pretty my brother is. And we did inherit daddy's charm and presence pretty much equally. But he definitely got me on the good looks department. I missed out on that particular genome sequence right there, but I make up for it as best I can.
That's a matter of opinion.
Mm,
I don't think you missed out on anything.
um, probably I'm too shy. No, seriously, I had to
I,
learn how to get over that. Successfully learned how to get over that, but I had to learn how to get over that.
I used to be very shy, but when I had to wait tables to get through college, I got over that pretty soon.
Um, with me, it was being told I have to do public speaking over and over and over again at different meetings,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then I had to figure out how to overcome the stage fright.
Mm, I've never had that problem.
Oh, so Megan's got a different way besides the lunchbox.
I was thinking that, Megan, but I didn't want to scare him off.
That's all right. I've got Kevlar underoos.
No, I used to take dance lessons. I started when I was 4 years old, went for a little over a decade, and we performed. We had of course, the yearly recital at the local high school auditorium. But she also took us out. We performed at fairs. We performed 3 times at the Illinois State Fair, come away with medals. I just never had. I was never anxious or anything before I get on. After everything was over, then I'd be like, okay, was everything all right? But before, and then I got into. I was in a debate club in grade school. I did some debating in high school, and of course in college and in English classes, and always got to get up in front of people and talk.
Mm.
I just never had any problem with it.
I always did up until college, and I managed to luck into a fantastic circle of friends who was very supportive and allowed me to learn how to become the man that I am today. And then at work with the public speaking and everything, every safety meeting, every whatever, they go, "Hey, we're not answering a damn thing. Let Dan do it. He knows it all." That wasn't what you said in high school. You thought I was gay in high school, but now I'm the public speaker, and I'm going okay, okay. We'll just traverse the distance on that basis. Oh, and thank you, Megan. Uh, there is another fan.
Hmm.
Oh, one of these days I'm going to have to start publishing a magazine or something that caters to my numerous fans. Um, only fiends or something. Um, yeah, folks, I have the
Yeah.
weirdest and most twisted sense of humor. I'm told it's one of my most endearing charms. That and the casual sarcasm I throw into everything. Oh Lord. Uh,
Pardon
you,
me. Yeah.
you do
But
you
you
remember the
stunned us
little
all last night.
oh I did.
Yeah. When you refused to say something, you're not even in the green room. We're like, what?
Whoa. And everybody's imagination went to Twitter as to what I would not say. Uh-huh. Uh
For those of us who know you so well, it's like,
probably could read
mm-hmm.
my mind like a magazine, yes. Um Look, the shortest distance between two puns is a straight line. And I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but pretty much have to do it sitting down nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Carl's
And
got his routine all figured out. He's going to come on stage, kind of like Ron White, with it, only with a cigar instead of a cigarette and his glass of bourbon, and apologize for being late because he just lost his wife.
I bet that took some doing.
And yeah, let the audience go, ah, and he says, and then say, yeah, I had to drive around a lot before I finally lost her.
Yes, but I remember the story of when he dropped you off in the parking lot
And what at the door
of,
at
of
Walmart.
the department store, and he goes in and asks the doorman, I'm looking for a short redhead in what was it?
Not short. I'm not short. Chubby redhead.
Well, the tiger print pants or whatever.
Leopard stretch pants, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, you might as well take your pick, sir. About 5 of them, and none of them was me.
It was Walmart, though. I mean, seriously, that's a statistically accurate answer. Um,
First time we'd
although,
ever been to a Walmart.
of course, the obvious solution is to just walk up to a woman at random and start talking to her. My wife would show up in 30 seconds or less.
No, no. I figure if he's talking to somebody, he's not bothering me.
No, he's trying to sell him red hair dye. Um,
He's done that.
I know he's done that.
I mean, he's like me. He's not much on blondes either. Yeah, he's talked at least 3 women that I know of into dyeing their hair red instead of continuing as blondes. You
Oh,
gotta be careful when you're in
and,
the hair dye aisle in Walmart.
and speaking of being careful, we got a Chris sighting. Hey,
Hey, Chris.
Hello, Donna.
not enough
Uh,
punishment yet, huh?
uh,
Ah,
um, Trust me, Donna. I've seen that ad way more times than you ever did, and I've suffered many a times for it.
You had to. It was in your area. I didn't have to. You owe
We
me.
only showed it to you that once. Hey, Megan.
Yeah, I don't care. You owe me 2 hugs when we get to Hallowcon.
I told you I got you covered.
She gonna hold you to that, or up against the wall, one or the other.
Either way, she can do one of each. That way, she got both of them covered. I love it when I get her. She's like,
No, I'm just sitting here thinking. Yeah, give me a moment. Yeah, I'm good.
okay.
Oh, and your fan club follows you everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's one of my fans because
Oh, hell
she is
yeah.
definitely an asset to Hallowcon and a great friend to have.
Well, I haven't known her long enough for her to consider me to be a friend, but I think she's a fascinating lady, and I do enjoy every chance I get to talk with her. So,
And she obviously enjoys your voice.
some some people don't have a choice.
The female
Uh,
voice can be quite a soothing, entertaining, and um, lovely thing to experience.
Oh, you should see Callie when he's in Carl's office, because Carl doesn't use headphones. He
Hmm.
can he can hear Dan when Dan speaks, and he just sits there and looks up at the monitor like it's Uncle Dan. Then he goes
Dan,
looking for you behind the monitor.
yeah, really.
Dan,
No, I'm
Megan
not making
replied
that
to you.
joke, Chris. I'm not making that joke, Chris. It's
I'm
not
just
the green
telling you,
room.
Megan replied to you.
Oh, 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 sweetie. Uh, thank you. Uh, and, I mean, seriously, we've spent like 4 hours over 2 years in conversation at Halicon, and I was hoping that wasn't intruding or getting in your way, but
If you do, she'll tell you politely to shoo.
I don't think Megan would express it exactly that way. It's more like get out of get out of my face, you expletive deleted sort of thing. Um,
I'm just
oh,
glad I was able to salvage the carrots last year.
um, okay, you got some splaining to do, Lucy. Um,
What,
first,
Dan? Your voice is calming in a way.
not the green room, not the green room, not the green room.
I said calming. I didn't say soothing. That's what Donna was thinking, among other
No, that's
things.
not what Donna was
I
thinking.
said among other things. Donna's laughing like, you get the picture, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I might have
just
been born in the morning, but it wasn't this morning.
Megan
oh,
almost got to see a whole different side of me a couple years ago. We, she
Hell,
was
I'm
out.
impressed you could still stand after all.
oh, and Megan just messaged me about joining the green room.
Uh oh.
So we've got to send her a link for Uncle Carl's secret humor group so she can
You want me to invite her? since I got my
Yeah,
phone
go
in.
right ahead. You're quicker
Go
on the
ahead, yeah.
keyboard than I am. Yeah. Now,
I don't know about quick on
Megan,
the keyboard, but
you probably don't know what you're about to get into. Um,
you can't
if
be
it,
easily offended.
you can't be
This
offendable at
is
all. Um,
this is kindergarten stuff compared to the
mhm.
secret
And
human group.
we actually get up to some shenanigans. Um,
You almost said it right the first time.
I almost never say anything right the first time. I've got to rehearse it a couple of times in my head, and then try it
Mm.
out loud when nobody's around, so that I can polish the phraseology. Um,
No, a couple years ago, she and one of her male helpers were doing their grilling thing, and I don't remember why, but we pulled our van over to that side of the motel, and I got out of the van, was coming around the back to uh, talk to Carl, and I wasn't wearing a belt on my jeans, and my jeans fell down almost to my knees. And I grabbed them real quick and pulled them up and looked around, and fortunately they were busy grilling, so they did not get to see the moon. I didn't forget
Okay,
to tell them
Stephanie,
that.
you have been invited. God have
uh,
mercy on your soul, because you will find none. As Aunt
I
Donna
do
likes
believe
to
that's a
say.
quote.
That's kind of what I tell them.
Yep.
Well,
um,
Trust me, if I can deal with it, you can. I'm about as polite company as it gets in that group.
yep, yep.
I can't imagine you not being polite company in any group.
Oh,
Seriously.
man, I'm
Hey,
telling
and
you, there have
I,
been a few times where you did not want to be around me.
obviously, a bottle of Statesman was not involved in those times. Um,
No.
you and I have gotten knee walking before, and Joe
Yeah.
Dog got wheelbarrowing before. How many times did you put him to bed?
I got Joseph. He got so damn plastered that night. He ain't recovered since fully.
No, Megan, if you had not been so busy grilling, I would have mooned you because I forgot the belt on my jeans and I did not realize they were that loose. They went down to around my knees.
Yep.
And not voluntarily this time.
No.
No, I never forgot my. I'm like, I got to go back to the room. I got to get my belt because there's no way. It's just a good thing it wasn't the day before when I was having all that moonshine.
Yeah. I was impressed you could still, that you were as together as you were.
I totally thought she'd be as together as she was.
I was ex-
Professional.
I wasn't expecting her to, like, you know, come undone or whatever, but I was expecting her to have a little more effect on her than it did.
Well,
It was somewhere in between the two that I thought she'd be.
I think I did fall asleep during one of Stephanie's lectures, but that was about it. I'm a professional not mead, moonshine drinker.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about it. A lots of times, Joe's brews are so smooth you don't realize it until it kicks you like a damn mule when you ain't expecting it.
This one wasn't that smooth.
Well, that was probably one of his
Rush
lesser
jobs.
batches, but yeah.
Hmm Well, he'd only made it in May, I think,
Yeah.
because that's when he got the idea for the challenge.
See, there's the problem. I had one that had well over a year to acclimate, shall we
Age.
say?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this ain't bad. And the next thing you know, holy freaking crap. It was all I could do to hold myself. I mean, I didn't collapse, but I wasn't far from it. And I had to back down from anything else I consumed till it
Oh,
wore off.
Now, I was actually amazed that the night you and I split the bottle of Statesman,
Hmm.
plus Joe's moonshine, plus
Mm,
whatever else we could scrounge, that I was still able to be ambulatory.
I thought I did remarkably well not staggering.
I didn't notice you staggering because I was very very concentrated on not staggering myself or falling flat on my face and causing a medical emergency.
Well, hell, I couldn't afford to stagger anyway because I had to take Joe's ass back to the room 3 freaking times.
I told you you needed a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I
Well,
got the
and
wheelbarrow.
and those days are in the past now. Joe can no
Yeah,
longer drink, otherwise he will die.
yeah.
So
I,
as
I
fun as it was,
I did relent. I gave him about, I don't know if you can see this. Let me get about that much in between my finger and thumb for Uncon, but that was it. He asked me, he said, please. I'm like, okay, but that's it. I mean, it was in a little plastic shot cup, so it wasn't that big of an amount either.
mm-hmm.
hmm we're not giving you enough to where we had to call an ambulance later.
Exactly. It was just enough to take the edge off. And I only
Now,
let him have one, and I didn't. I put it away, and I didn't let him have any more.
now I have discovered that dark roast coffee cracking is very
And-
dangerous.
yes.
I will, and I've already told Rich. I take a sip of this stuff and this tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup. And he goes, "It's on."
Um,
We'll be
here's
bringing
the thing.
some.
Here's the thing, Dan. You've seen our setup at Hallowcon.
Yeah,
Well, the Pirates had more booze than we did.
yeah. Jay's good for
A
that.
lot more.
Well, Jay prepares for cons that have 1,000 people or more, so he brings the volume,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he
yeah.
he's
I was
he's
impressed.
he's overly happy when he doesn't have to take that many bottles home. So I think I'm in his good graces because I've emptied quite a few of his bottles in my time. Um, oh, I'm gonna hate missing LibertyCon next week, but uh, next year, Lindsay is she has been asked to be in the consuite staff, so we should be able to get rooms a couple of days before the regular members can get their rooms. And Brandy has promised me that we'll get advance notice, and Sean Sullivan has promised me that we'll get advance notice. And we definitely do not want to give up LibertyCon. And Lindsay was so happy at Hallowcon this past year that I don't see that we can ever give that up either.
I hope
Um,
you don't.
Now, like I said, she has been working her fingers to the bone trying to collect stuff that she can put on the vendor's table. And I'm going, um, you're gonna leave me a little bit of room for my books, right? I mean, seriously. And she's going, well, yeah.
There's you something to look at, Dan, in the private chat.
I'm almost frightened to look.
That's
Wow.
in addition to what they already had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, may have to bring my own wheelbarrow.
I don't think we're going to have quite that much, but you know. I got a lot of planning stuff to do in the next month. So, yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been on here as much, but
Hey, you're busy.
between work.
I mean, you're the fireman for Hallowcon. Anytime there's a flame, you got to go put it out. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need some more
Private
volunteers.
thing.
mm, I don't doubt it. And really, you you deserve more volunteers. I hope and pray that more people will ask to join the group as far as being staff and whatnot, so that you're not there on the Sunday going, "Where did all of the solo cups go?" Um,
Well, like I said, I'm putting in some things into a place that hopefully will streamline the process Sunday. All we need is a few more people to help out. And you and I will get to actually hang out and enjoy each other's company and cut up and all that stuff more than we were able to this past year.
you better believe it. And Donna, you better be there too.
We're planning on it.
Yeah, don't have any bad accidents or falls or any of that shit.
Nope.
Because
Yeah, and Sunday is the one day that con staff gets to hang out with us old fogies that refuse to go home
yeah,
and really get some personal time to get to know one another.
yeah.
Um, oh, that person that gave Lindsay so much trouble is no
Yeah.
longer on the invite list, which I thank you, and J Dog. Um,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If I hadn't have been so caught up in what I had to done, I would have tried to head that off before it ever got to that point.
well,
I'm sorry.
when somebody self-appoints themselves as morality police, it's not good for anybody in the area.
You know, that
Um,
particular party is.
yeah, well,
We'll just leave it at
disinvited,
that. We'll just leave it
disinvited
at that. We'll just
is
leave it
is
at
the
that.
is the polite way to put it. And now we will run into them at LibertyCon, but that's large enough to where
It shouldn't
they
be an
don't
issue.
they don't feel like they've got any authority they can throw around.
Well, also, they hang out at one particular spot in particular and focus most of their attention there.
Well,
Well, there's
Uh,
actually two spots: gaming and the art show.
well, between Vaughn and Brandy, I don't think they're going to get a chance
No,
to act up.
yeah. Oh, um, but yeah, I'm.
Oh, and Brandy did give me a call or a text about
Mhm,
the if we were still able to attend.
mhm,
Evidently, our names had come up on the uh, r- reserved
mhm.
for alternates. The if people had canceled
Yeah,
their
room
attendance.
reservation.
Yep. So I really hated having to tell Brandy that we were not going to be able to be there, but uh, Rich had already uh, spoken to the staff and rolled our memberships over. And
Yeah.
somebody here. Oh, it's Mr. Buckman.
Good evening.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Well, you got rid of the beard.
Yep.
Cutting away the programming.
Made myself look about 10
Jeez.
years younger.
Yeah, I wish I looked that young.
Chris, you look 12.
Really?
My hairline doesn't say so.
No, but
I probably act 12 at times.
hence my confusion.
I'd prefer you about 18 at least.
Oh, don't
You
worry, I can
hope.
cover that easily too.
You hope, yes. Uh,
Do, 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 do. But
so, how did things go after the programming show, there, Joe? You were working on the game, and you finally figured out the part that was making you feel like you were beating your head against a brick wall.
So after I signed off, I actually just kind of stopped for the night. I went up, grabbed a bite for dinner, and then went out to Hard Rock Casino, which I should have just left as soon as I pulled into the parking spot. Oh, it's a Saturday night. I'm pulling through the main like area of the parking lot, and it's like, man, I am never going to find a spot. I'm going to have to park across the street. And I look over, and there's a spot wide open, 3 spaces in the row. And I took it. And I used up all my damn luck finding that spot.
You did say it was a casino, so yep.
Yep.
Um,
Now, I walked in with 500. I walked back out with about 280. So I didn't lose all my money to them. But,
they gave it a damn
about a
good
third.
try, didn't they?
oh, they did.
It's only about a third, right?
Yep. So,
Hey,
can't
that's
complain about
winning
that.
right there.
Yeah.
If you got 2/3 of the money you walked in with, you doing good.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
But I think my next endeavor with the game is going to be actually starting a new file and just setting up different scenes as different levels. Just drawing it out, getting not doing any code to it, just draw it out and go from there.
yeah, yeah. And yes, I did remark that was the first time I'd ever seen code written in color, and it was pretty. I wish I could get that on the stuff I do in Excel, and I'm going. That might actually make it easier for me to troubleshoot
Right?
the different denominations of the coding, for want of a better term. Yeah, You don't put the Protestants next to the Baptists.
Mhm.
Otherwise, there's going to be a fight. And the Episcopalians, you put them close to the bar. Um,
Yeah.
did I? Yeah, I did. I did say that. I did say that. I'm sorry. Um, God bless the little pygmies. Um,
I got you to say that, didn't I?
no, he got me to say that. I just don't say it very often. But I'm learning. I'm learning to use it more and more often when
Yeah,
it's one of those open mouth insert foot occasions.
yeah. Well, I've used it for quite a number of years too, so it's
Yeah.
good stuff. Good stuff needs to be used so people don't forget about it.
And it's really sad that most of the guys are retiring.
Well, yeah. I
Blue
think Bill
collar
Engvall's
comedy,
already retired.
yeah, blue collar comedy is great stuff.
Yeah, they
And
made enough money on it. They probably can retire, but Jeff Foxworthy's still doing stuff.
Jeff Foxworthy cannot retire while he can still breathe. I mean,
Well, yeah,
seriously, he's
I think
got
now
to keep going. I mean,
I think he's doing the
he doesn't have a
grandkids and
choice.
great grandkids retirement fund.
He's addicted. He can't stop. Um,
Well, when you just think of that stuff as naturally as it comes to him,
exactly. Why bother to retire when you're just going to have another 3 shows worth of material in the next 6 months just from thinking? Um,
yeah. Well, I actually think it was a little more difficult for Bill Engvall because his was a little bit more higher brow as opposed to the rest of them.
well, that was one of the things that I liked so much about Bill was you had to stop and think for a second,
Yeah,
and then you go, he did not just say that. He did just say that.
he
He
did.
just said that.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, really. Uh,
I love the part. Well, there's one thing that Jeff Foxworthy said that I honestly thought Bill Engvall could have used just as easily. Let's talk about that one time, like, yes, sir, there's nothing wrong with pulling a boat behind your vehicle, but we do require that you have a trailer underneath it. And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, man, that sounds like something Bill Engvall would say.
and people wonder how I can get through an entire green room on Friday nights without spewing beer all over my computer monitor and the keyboard. Training starts here, people.
Yeah, well, as one of my college buddies said years ago, alcohol kills brain cells, but only the weak ones.
Only the strong shall survive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Now I
Oh,
can
and
somehow see a Garrick and Dr. Bashir meme with something along those lines in it.
if you can do it, that'd be a great meme. It really would. Or a series of memes.
Now I just thought
Um,
of one. Now I just thought of one with Gowron.
I don't think my
Oh,
eyeballs. I don't think my eyeballs will open that wide. Oh, okay.
you
Telling
know
the
there's a
story.
group. You know there's a group called Glory to Gowron memes, don't you?
Um,
No.
I do now. Um, I do have to tell a story on myself.
Okay.
You know these glasses that I wear when we're streaming.
Hmm.
my prescription glasses got set down in the spot where these are supposed to sit when I'm not wearing them. And these were placed in the spot where my prescription glasses were supposed to be. I had to go to the landfill today.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I picked up the wrong set of glasses.
Oh no.
I was 3/4 of the way there before I figured out why the road was blurry. And
Mm,
this is before my first beer of the day because I don't drink when I'm driving. I don't
no.
drink before I'm going to drive. Only after I get home. And I'm going, oh shit, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it did.
Is definitely one of those don't look Ethel moments.
Yeah, I was moseying on over to the landfill trying to take the garbage away, and I realized, boom, done pulled a switcheroo. It's too late.
Thankfully, I know the route, so I don't have to look at street signs or anything like that.
Hmm.
And it's been so many years since the concussion really
Threw you
sent
for a loop.
my well, right after the concussion, I
Hmm.
couldn't wear my prescription glasses because my eyes had gone back to 2020. The swelling in my brain had actually pressed against my eyeballs and reshaped them to where I could not wear my glasses because everything was out of focus with glasses.
Well,
And within about 8 to 10 months, swelling went down, everything went back to almost normal, but I was used to not wearing my glasses at the computer desk
hmm.
and whatnot. In the last few years at work, I've been going, I'm not going to get written up for taking my prescription glasses off so I can work a computer out on the factory floor. So I've just been wearing the regular plastic safety glasses,
Yeah.
non prescription whatsoever. That way, I can actually work one of the computers out on the factory floor and not have to worry about getting written up for some safety violation. Uh, Somewhere along the way, my astigmatism disappeared.
Good. That's a nice problem to have.
Something that I had had since I was 10 years old vanished. The optometrist went, how'd you get rid of your astigmatism? I don't know. Doing not using my glasses for about 5 years. It probably had something to do with it. Um,
Um, Probably a non-standard, non-factory reset. The concussion.
exactly. It was damn near a rud. Um, yeah, yeah. If you suddenly need to get some sense out of me, go ahead and hit me up the backside of the head with a can of pinto beans, and I'll probably start making sense. I can't
Nah,
guarantee it, but
you make enough sense. I can figure it out.
Hmm.
Say, who wants to be making sense?
David
Well,
Byrne doesn't. Um,
no, because he encourages people to stop making sense.
See, two people got that joke. I'm sure Joe did too. Um, mm, uh, Thankfully, the beer fridge is right here. But One of the side effects of drinking beer during these shows for so long is that occasionally one must visit the smallest room of the house. And it's about that time. So I will be right back.
Well, I gotta go get some caffeine, and I will return shortly as well.
Good story.
Alrighty.
We'll buy it.
Oh God, they're leaving us unsupervised, Donna.
Yeah, I noticed that. Is that the wisest thing?
I plead the fifth. I will
So-
not incriminate myself.
I missed a coding show earlier.
So I actually did two today. One ended up being me, Nick, and Rich as I was working on stuff. And then the second one was just me kind of going through and setting up some more stuff on the game, trying to get a few things changed around. Because apparently you can't use for the health packs, you can't use the Red Cross symbol.
Really?
Yeah, apparently that violates part of a Geneva Convention. And they've gone after the group that made Among Us, and I believe Halo also.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking the ones in Wolfenstein had red crosses on them.
They did. But yeah, apparently you can't use the Red Cross emblem.
Wow.
So I was trying to come up with something new to be able to heal the player with, and
You couldn't
Since-
tell them they were red X's instead of red crosses?
I could have done that. That's okay. I created one, and I'm going to throw it into the game just to aggravate the unholy hell out of Nick. Which, Nick, if you're watching this later on, I'll deny everything. But I did make a sprite out of with a gradient background, and then the cross in the center has a gradient. Yes, I am a dick. I fully realize this, and I embrace it.
Uh, Sometimes people just ask for it.
Oh, right.
Oh no, he's back. We gotta quit talking about him now.
Right?
That'll be the day.
When you say goodbye.
No, when I rebuild my desk to something a little bit more functional, I am actually going to have to invest in an air conditioner for back here. One of those that sits down on the windowsill and has a portion in the front that's below the window and a portion in the back that's below the window. Can't put one of those in the bedroom because cats are still inside the chain link fence, and for some reason they like clawing holes in. Okay, who we got now? Oh, it's Rich. Okay, now we're having a big and rich time.
Hey, Rich.
Well, if I'm causing that much of a hassle, I can go. Who do we have now? I'm sorry.
So, what do cats like about your AC?
They like clawing holes in the radiators of the AC and letting all the
Ooh.
freon out.
That's not good.
Yeah.
No, and it's much much harder to fix than cleaning occasional cat litter off the top of the box for the AC. So, and here we got Chris back.
Man of
and
my
Nick is
word.
still with us too.
I told you I was going to get some caffeine.
I came prepared.
Which
Very
thank
good.
you very much for that recommendation of the. I bought some for Misty the other day. She had a chance to drink it yet, but I bought it for her.
What'd you buy?
Kroger French vanilla cappuccino.
Ah.
Ooh. Lindsay likes that
Misty,
stuff.
Misty loves French vanilla cappuccino.
Did she enjoy it, or she tried it yet?
She has not had a chance to try it yet. I just bought it for her. Well, technically day before yesterday now. Bought it for her on Friday.
Yep. I mentioned it to him the other night.
Megan, one of these days I'm going to convince you to not call me sir.
Good luck with that, Dan. I've been trying to do it for, 3 years now, Megan?
I can be very persuasive.
Yes, he can.
I've been
And,
polite because she's such a sweetheart.
She might stop calling you sir and start calling you daddy.
Oh,
He's considering.
No, I'm just wondering how that'll go over with my other daughters.
Ooh, okay. On that note,
That kind of daddy, you don't need to worry about.
I'll be right back.
She'll be in her bunk.
Rawr.
And over here we got a big.
I'm not speechless. I just can't think of anything that I could say on camera.
that's understandable. When I went off camera just a moment ago, I had some of that beverage that you and me enjoy so much, Dan.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna have to get a bottle for Hallowcon, and yeah, but if I got one now, it would be empty long before Hallowcon.
I didn't tell you to open it yet.
I don't have to be told to open it. I bought it. I'm going to open it. If I had to wait for somebody to tell me to open a bottle of Kraken, I'd never get intoxicated.
Oh, I wasn't going to be that bold or foolish. I know better than that, but
no, I've got to get the dark roast coffee flavored Kraken, and I've got to get the regular. And there was one other I tried because they didn't have the regular, and I was not quite as fond of the taste of it. I think it's the honey. Well, anyway, it was much lighter in color, but it didn't have the full body of the taste.
Did I tell you, Dan, I created 2 drinks at Uncon?
What did you do?
And did you save us the recipe card?
I got it in my head. I'll write it down somewhere before too long. But yeah, there's 2 variations. It's essentially the same formula, but a couple of substitutions. I call one of them the tropical trade wind and the other the Atlantic trade wind.
Sir, you interest me strangely.
I was going to say, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that. You got to...
Okay,
at least give a sneak peek into the next season.
Okay, let's see.
We need the highlight reel, not the bloopers. The highlights.
Okay, the tropical trade wind is Bird Dog Black Cherry Whiskey, Triple Sec, uh, Whipped Vodka, Sprite, and the Atlantic trade wind. You swap out Bird Dog Blackberry Whiskey and you use Blue Curacao instead of the Triple Sec.
Okay, that's a hell of a lot more complicated than the one I came up with the green room last month. So
What do you trade? What do you trade out the the whiskey with?
The black cherry and the tropical is changed to blackberry whiskey for the
Oh,
Atlantic.
okay.
And Blue Curacao is swapped with the Triple Sec.
they both sound really good, though.
Yeah.
But they both have Sprite in it. They both have whipped vodka, and they both have regular vodka in it. And you can, if you choose, to add orange juice to.
Mm-mm.
Now, the one I came up with in the green room last month was basically 50-50 Crown Royal and port. That
But anyway,
tasted,
me and the
that tasted
bartender
really good. Um,
and told me I got to name them, so I did.
you are now famous among the dead pirates.
Yes. Among some of them, anyway.
Yeah, the ones that still have brain cells to think with. Yes.
My
They're
So-
just,
mom.
they're just happy I found them a new location.
My mom liked the mixture of. It was about a 50-50 mix, if I remember correctly. Crown Royal and Di Serrano Amaretto.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And she called it a Southern Night.
The amaretto might actually make Crown Royal palatable for me.
The port did as well.
I'm
What?
not a Crown Royal person.
No, and neither am I. I mean, it's a good whiskey on its own right. I have tasted better, but after having
reminds
gotten
me, I need
used
to
to the
snag a
Kraken,
bag from
I
my
needed
dad's
the
house.
extra sweetness.
To
So-
make it a true Southern Night, I would add a splash of Southern Comfort.
So cool.
Yeah.
That was one of Lindsay's dad's favorite liquors, and fortunately, in England, you can get that in the grocery store. It's right next to the bread.
You can get it in my
Depending on the grocery store
too.
around here, you
You what? Think you muted yourself, Rich.
I don't think you finished the sentence.
depends on whereabouts. Around here, growing up, Soco's and several grocery stores.
Yeah.
Well, and until I went to Portsmouth, I had never seen liquor in the grocery store. I had seen beer, I had seen wine, I had never seen liquor in the grocery store.
You been to Florida recently?
Hmm?
Have you
Did they
been to
do what?
Florida recently?
No, I haven't been to Florida in probably 18 years.
Panama City. Yeah, go to Panama City.
I enjoy Panama City. I especially enjoy the amusement park.
I don't
But
think it's around anymore. I think they took down Miracle Strip.
that's a shame. That's a shame. I really loved the haunted house. The
They,
roller coasters weren't bad. I mean, they were simplistic and a little slow and clunky, but my favorite was wandering around in the haunted house and uh, standing around in the unopened doorways with a black light where I was wearing a windbreaker that had white seams on it, and I'd just stand there and wait for the little school kids to open the door and go, "Hi."
I miss the haunted house they used to have in Valpo. I had so much fun working that.
Oh, they had one that was they had one trick in the haunted house that would, for the uninitiated, scare the hell out of you. You'd go on this balcony, and there was a sign on the far wall that said, "Look down," and you look down, and there's a ghostly face underneath you, and then you realize the balcony was on hinges, and it would go boom when you leaned out far enough and give you that "I'm falling" scare.
Hmm.
Got me just about every time, even after I knew it was there.
They would have to hose the balcony down if they did that to me.
I think that balcony got hosed several times a day. Maybe not with
That
anything clean, but
that balcony would be so filled with human excrement.
Now I don't remember if you remember the haunted house they used to do in Valpo behind Round the Clock. It was put on
I
by
didn't
the
do a
Valpo.
whole hell of a lot of hanging out in Valpo, so I probably wasn't aware that it existed even.
Okay. So there was one that the Valpo Fire Department put on with the high school,
Okay.
and I ended up. I don't remember how the hell I ended up helping out there, but back at the time I worked at Staples, so I had the black pants and shoes and all that stuff. So I bought a few black T-shirts, and then I had this black cape that I would wear. And it was a 2-story haunted house. It was just an old house that the city owned. And when you went up the stairs, you went through this dark hallway, and it was supposed to be like you're stepping on cockroaches. They had peanut shells all over the floor. So you're crunching through. Well, there was a little cutout in the wall that I could squeeze into perfectly that was right before you got to the next room. And I got just enough light to where I could see the silhouettes passing by me. And I had one of those black hoods where I could see out but you couldn't see my face. So I'd wait for the group to go by and I'd walk out behind them and scare the shit out of them. Well, as this one group was coming through, I recognized the voices. I'm like, that sounds like girls from my high school. So I stood there real quiet and I watched them go past, and I'm looking at the silhouettes. I'm like, that's got to be them. So I just walk out behind them, didn't say a word, get into the next room that has this nice black light in it, and one of the girls was wearing her Letterman's jacket. So her last name just lit up as soon as she walked into that room. And in this deep, gravelly voice, Katie Kazelki. And they all freeze. And she turns around, she looks at me. How did you know my name? Oh, I know a lot about you, Katie. And just started going on. And she is turning white as a ghost, along with the other 2 girls that are there. How do you know so much about me? And I rip my hood off. I go, 'cause it's me. God damn you, Bachman, I'm gonna kick your. Now, mind
I
you,
know about that time you cheated in English class.
her boyfriend was also a grade ahead of me, and he was one of those good old farm boys that could have kicked my ass horribly. And I was fully prepared to take any kind of ass beating that was coming because this was just too perfect.
He probably thought
He
it was
probably
funny as
got a
hell.
kick out of it too.
He came up to me in the hallway that next Monday. He goes, I saw him walking my way. I'm like, okay, this is going to go one of two ways. Here we go. He comes up, he goes, here, you scared the shit out of my girlfriend at the haunted house. And not going to deny it, Bug. I had her fucking ghost white. She goes, good job. Turns and walks away.
You're
Oh,
like, yes!
I
I
got roped into
survived.
doing a haunted house for work. They were doing it for United Way for charity,
Mhm.
um, and they had a closed down storefront in the local mall. They had gone in there and they had built themselves a maze, and they had this little closet sized room in the center of it that was only had peepholes about eye level for me, and then about knee level open. And they put me in there with my reel to reel tape recorder and one of my synthesizers tied into the PA system. And in between groups coming through, the reel to reel was playing this uh, haunted house music that I had pieced together. Some of it was stuff that I had actually performed, and then the closest room that I could actually see was one where they had set up a an old piano with some cardboard tubes on it to make it look like a pipe organ. So when people got in there, I'd fade down the tape recorder, and I'd fade up the synthesizer and try and play some Phantom of the Opera style, whimsy.
Mhm.
And they just absolutely loved that. And I got the shit scared out of me one day when one of my stepkids went through and knew the arrangement and ducked under and was in the little chamber with me. I'm going, bah! What's he doing? I'm working. Um,
Probably my favorite scare I did there, though. Uh, one of my friends was up there working it also, and the cape that I had was very warm. And it was kind of a cold night, and so I ended up giving her my cape to use to keep warm with. Well, I was trying to get back up to my little hidey hole, so waiting for a group to go in. Because you'd walk in, and like the very first little foyer area was like where the guide would tell you the rules and this and that. So I'd always wait like a minute or so before walking in, and I picked the wrong guide to go behind. And apparently, I need to change some settings on my computer so these goddamn monitors quit trying to fall asleep on me without moving the mouse. Um, so I go in, and they're just getting into the next room. I'm like, shit. So I'm standing there in the foyer, waiting. Next thing I know, I hear the door open. Crap! Next group's coming in. This is like the brightest room in the whole damn thing. So I just go up against the wall, put my arms out, head down. I got my hood on, and I'm kind of looking up, and the guide walks in. And I see the guide kind of do a double take because there's never anybody in that first room. and the guide's, explaining to these two ladies, they're middle, probably about late 40s, early 50s, and you know, he's telling them, things might jump out at you, this and that. And I had no intentions of scaring them. I was going to let them pass through just so I could get back to my damn hidey hole. And the one lady looks right at me and goes, "Oh, like, I suppose he's going to jump out and scare me?"
Challenge accepted.
Well, now you done called me out. And I have my arms up, acting like I'm hanging on the wall, and I just lurch forward and I go, "Like this?" She hits the corner screaming, drops into the fetal position. Her friend, I thought, was going to piss herself laughing. The guide had to take his mask off because he's crying laughing. And she's just sitting there, just letting out this blood-curdling scream in the fetal position on the floor. I didn't think he was real. And her friend looks at her and goes, "You dumbass, did you not see all the hair on the arms? That'd be the most lifelike mannequin I'd ever seen."
Back at my first job, all four of us waitresses had our names started with D. There was Deb and Diane, who were sisters, and then the other two of us were Donna. And we ran around, and we went down to the haunted house in Georgetown. And on the way, we stopped at the liquor store, and Diane and I got a bottle of sweet Rhine wine that we couldn't take in when we got down there, so we had to finish it. It was a very, very good haunted house. Deb and the other Donna were screaming like crazy, while Diane and I was going, "Oh, that was very good. Yes, I like the way you did that."
Yeah, everybody's a critic.
Well, Donna wanted to introduce Diane to one of the guys who was putting on the haunted house, so he comes by Donna's house later. Only he and I ended up instead of Diane and he.
You devil, you.
It was a good Halloween.
Oh, no, with our haunted house, the bit that actually scared the most people was one of the maintenance men in a shop apron with a circular saw with no blade on it, and there was a mannequin with a detachable arm that he would pretend to saw the arm off and chase people out of the room waving the arm. And that worked well the first night, and then he got a little carried away.
Mm-mm.
And he was actually chasing people out of the room with the circular saw. And there were some kids that came in that they couldn't even have been high school age. "Oh, this is not going to scare us. We know all the tricks." They went through the entire thing. They got to the room with him in it, and he came at them with a circular saw, and they like to busted through the walls to get outside. They weren't looking for doors. They were just looking for open passageways, and if there wasn't one, they were going to open one real quick. I thought one of them was actually going to go through the glass storefront.
Oh, jeez.
And they ran outside just screaming their heads out, and the guy with the saw came out right behind them, like he's going to chase them through the mall. And one of the people outside taking tickets go, "You want your money back, kid?" They didn't say a word. They just took off running. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. I only accidentally got a chance to see it because it was in between my parts of the thing. The tape recorder was running. So for some strange reason, I followed them into the other room because I had the central location, so I could get to any of the chambers that they had built, and I'm just going, oh, these guys are going to get it good, and I duck under and in the darkness, just kind of followed along behind them, got to witness the entire embarrassing incident. I thought when they ran out, they were going to go straight to the police station that was part of the mall and report us because they thought that there was an actual serial killer after them. I mean, this guy running out with a circular saw and the apron, the he had painted up the apron so it looked like it had blood splatter all over it. I mean, he was absolutely milking that part. He could have got hired by Hollywood for that sort of thing. But those two boys, I I don't think they ever accepted a challenge to go into a haunted house and not get scared again. I certainly hope not, because they were wimpy little buggers. They I have known cheerleaders that had more masculine screams than that. And I've ridden the band bus a few times. Um, oh,
That's what she said.
not the green room, not the green room. Shut up, Dan. Um, yes, I am writing my memoirs, and no one will ever believe it. I'll have to publish them as fiction. Um, I got into some. I got up to some stuff back in the day, and I was so innocent and shy and everything. Nobody would believe that it was me doing some of this stuff. No, let me correct that. No one would believe that I was doing any of this stuff. Even when
Maybe they wouldn't, but I would.
even when I got caught, the teachers are going, "You did that?" uh, Geez, it was great to be young and insane. And if you know where that quote came from,
Your mouth just now.
oh no no no, the movie the movie I was quoting.
No, I
Uh,
was being facetious.
well, you might not have had a wild and misspent youth, but you certainly would have gotten a much better understanding of Michael Keaton's Batman.
Well,
And no, I
I
don't remember the name of the movie.
I
It
wouldn't.
wasn't Batman, I'll tell you that. But
I wouldn't want to say I got up to some stuff, but I was informed by my nephew here a couple years ago that I had a boring life, and I informed him, honey, with what I've been through, I deserve a boring life now.
um, he probably don't know everything either.
yeah.
Man, you said Michael Keaton. Was it
Mhm.
Mr. Mom? Gung Ho?
No, not at all.
Night Shift?
Peter Boyle was in the movie as well.
Oh, the Dream Team, where he had the anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now see, I've never seen that, so
Oh, that was a great one.
Yeah, I love
It's
that.
great to be young and insane.
Yeah. I love that scene where Peter Boyle's walking around. This guy's lying in the bed. He says, "Arise, my son, and walk." He gets up and he falls off the bed.
Yep.
it's not so bad to be old and insane, I'll tell you.
Peter Boyle's character had a habit of walking into an office meeting and starting to take his clothes off. This is not management activity as it is commonly known, at least not outside of the hotels that people stayed in rather than the boardroom. Um, God, I just love that movie so much. Uh, oh, our keepers had an accident. Us crazy folks are on our own. We've got to behave. Like that's going to happen. Um, it's a great movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. Um,
Anything with
and
Peter Boyle in it's going to be great.
like I said, it gave me a great insight into the way that Keaton was playing Batman just a little bit earlier, and I had I had no idea that his ability to do comedy ran that deeply, and his ability to do drama ran that deeply because it was a big mix of the two. One of those things where it's not totally one, not totally the other, and it gave me a better appreciation of what he was doing as Bruce Wayne in Batman because you've got to hand it to the man. He was one of the best Bruce Waynes of anybody to play Batman. You might not have liked his Batman that much, but he nailed Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
I
he's
also
one
the
of the few that
dichotomy
did both
between the
roles
two
better.
identities.
I
Excuse me,
think
Rich?
He's one of the few ones that did both pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And I think that his Bruce Wayne was the
him and Val Kilmer did the best job of Bruce Wayne.
um
I think Val Kilmer
I
hit
I
the
I
mysterious.
look, Val Kilmer has done some awesome stuff, and I don't hate him for any reason whatsoever. I don't think if I was the casting director for that movie, I would have put him in the part, but he
It
did
was
what
more
he.
the
But
script and the direction it started
his
going.
Bruce Wayne was good. His Batman, not so much.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You know, Val Kilmer and me and another huge comics fan that I used to work with, we were discussing it. We thought that Val Kilmer did the best Bruce Wayne, that Michael Keaton was the next best one, but he was the best Batman. And that Val Kilmer's Batman needed some work, but we also thought the script had a lot to do with him not being as good
Yeah,
as Batman.
I would blame scripts for a lot of flaws in not only that series but a lot of other movies. Um, there have been some really great ideas that have come out with fantastic casts who were given first
Oh,
drafts.
it's just like the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. He was not that bad of a Green Lantern or a Hal Jordan.
No, he
The
wasn't.
Green
I didn't have.
Lantern Corps was awesome. It was well cast. They were well thought out, and
It was just a
all
bad
that
script.
was good. It was the
The
writing,
script,
the
the
script.
script sucked.
Parallax was too. It was
Nebulous.
not the right character to bring in as the main villain. The human that he possessed was too weird and strange and creepy. The
Hmm.
government agents were stupid. Angela Bassett is an intelligent woman. Nobody should believe that she'd be that stupid or dumb. Tim Robbins, yeah, I can see pictures, people seeing him being stupid because he's played stupid and dumb before. He's actually quite good at it. And the government agents that were secondary characters were also stupid. You got
Yeah.
that much shit in a script, it's kind of hard to make a nice sandwich out of it.
Now, I really don't care about anybody disagreeing with me about this, but I actually enjoyed that Green Lantern movie, but I thought the script was horrible.
It was an okay movie if you don't know or are able to understand the difference between an adaptation and the original.
Well, a lot of people forget that Hal Jordan started out as a hotshot test pilot. They got that part of it right, but the problem is you've got so much storyline because over the years he matured and grew up. A lot of people knew the more mature Hal Jordan as opposed to the early reckless. And that's
Jackass.
another thing you got to
One of
deal
my
with.
favorite
You don't-
versions of um, of any version of Hal Jordan that they did was Justice League War, where they're taking a new 52 spin on things. And it's a cartoon movie, and Barry shows up, and Hal's like, "Hey, Barry," and Barry's like, "Dude, no real names," and Batman says something where basically, I I know who you all are, kind of a deal. Another great one was in Justice League Unlimited.
Yes.
The Wally West Flash is like, well, I'm not pulling off my mask. I don't want to know. I don't want you to know my secret identity. And Bruce just goes, Clark Kent, Diana Prince, Wally West. Can we move on?
Well, and that's another problem with the Green Lantern Corps movie is a lot of the casual fans don't know the story, so they were getting thrown off. Mark Strong was one of the best people they could have chosen to play Sinestro, and he absolutely nailed him.
Yeah. I
Mark
would
Strong
agree.
is one of those actors I put up there with Jeremy Irons and Christopher Walken, where they are, and also Jason Isaacs. They're really good bad guys, and you really fucking hate them, and they're really good guys, and you really love them.
Yep. And Tomar Ray, Jeffrey Rush is him. Oh, man, what an
Oh
awesome
yeah.
choice.
Yep.
And of course, Michael Duncan Clark is Kilowog.
Yeah.
I mean, you got probably the man with the best comparison of broad shoulders and barrel chested and ain't scared of shit. I mean, talk about perfect casting.
And actually, are y'all familiar with the animated Green Lantern series?
I've seen a few episodes.
That was, with a very, very few exceptions, that was very well done.
Well, DC's animated movies were always better than Marvel's, but Marvel's films
DC,
were better
their
than DC.
animated was piece de
DC's
resistance.
animated
Just-
movies are far better than their live action.
Yeah, well, the live action
Most of
movies
the
started
time.
getting better.
Yes, they
Aquaman
have.
was good. Not Flash. Shazam was wonderful.
I hear good reactions to the Flash.
No,
And
I've not
got
had
to
a
buy
chance to see
copies.
it yet.
I've got to buy copies
Yeah.
of some of these.
Yeah, I
I've
have
got
it. And
I've got the first Aquaman movie, but I don't have the second. and
And I
I've
like the
got
Justice League movies.
the Justice League movie. I have not seen the director's cut.
The Snyder cut, I enjoy much more.
Yeah.
I got
It's
the
like a
feeling it would have
it's
had,
like a 4 hour movie.
yeah,
But you need that much because they cover so much area.
But
yeah,
you also, the regular version that was out in the theaters, you've got Whedon coming in after the movie was 3/4 of the way done, and like, nah, I'm going to redo shit because Snyder had to
Yeah.
step away because his daughter killed herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he needed to be in a much better mental state.
Yeah. But like I said, those movies, DC started coming around on it.
They're
Like I
learning.
said, I thought Shazam was so well done because they were inclusive. They weren't trying to be preachy. They just showed the love, and it was just, to me, it was done right.
yeah. That's another one I need to buy a copy of. That and the sequel, the Black Adam sequel. Um,
Yeah, I want to see Black Adam. I haven't seen it yet.
it looks
The
really
problem,
good. I haven't seen it to be able to make any kind of assessment of it whatsoever.
yeah, but
And Dwayne does good work. I mean, seriously, he does good work. Sometimes he's not handed a good script, but he does the best he can with what he's got.
yeah. Well, the cool thing about DC animated is I will definitely make a point to watch those. Marvel had some okay ones. They weren't as nowhere near as good as cinematic films, but DC's were so much better than their films, the animated ones. And they got
Oh,
some really stellar casts. Nathan Fillion played Green Lantern on several of them.
mm-hmm. Um,
Mm,
now the last season and a half of the Batman animated series
mhm.
was really every other episode was basically Justice League,
Yeah.
and they did that extraordinarily well. Oh, and then there's there was the one that was based on oh God, what's the artist's name? Um, Incredible dude, did just fantastically clean artwork.
Alex Ross.
Wasn't John Romita Sr., was it, who recently passed away?
No. The the movie was basically the um, not only the formation of the Justice League, but included almost every DC comic book you could imagine, except for Doom Patrol. Um,
Well, the problem that I had with the Superman movie that had Henry Cavill in it was the guy uh, they chose to portray Zod.
Michael Shannon.
Every time I saw him, I saw the lead singer of Three Doors Down. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
no, that's a mood killer right there. Yeah, I can see how you can have that reaction. Yeah. Um,
Because he does look a lot like the lead singer of Three Doors Down, especially with that haircut.
you know, if they had made one different choice in the soundtrack, it might have saved the whole movie. If they'd gotten the folks that were doing Pocket Full of Kryptonite
Mm.
and use that one as part
Oh
of
yeah, Jimmy Olsen Blues. That was
Jimmy Olsen's Blues. Yes.
that's the only song I like by was Spin Doctors. Yeah, that's the name
Spin
of it.
Doctors. Yeah. And
Because I couldn't stand any other songs I had, but I liked that one. That one was funny. It was clever.
well, Two Princes gets played entirely too much, but then
Yeah,
Jimmy Olsen's Blues does not get played anymore at all, and it's probably copyright.
yeah,
I
that.
don't have the faintest idea.
But it was
Um,
so much better song
it
and
was much more
cleverly written.
interesting song.
Yeah, it was cleverly written too because Jimmy Olsen had a crush on Lois Lane and he couldn't stand the fact that she was in love with Superman. So the only thing he could do to get Superman out of the picture was a pocket full of kryptonite.
These things they happen. Love triangles are very awkward, especially when one of the corners has superpowers.
Unless
Any-
you're Baltar and you got number 6 and Lucy Lawless literally in bed with you.
I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah, first time I turned across it and saw that scene, I'm like, holy crap, no wonder he accepted the role.
I've always had a crush on Lucy Lawless.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Seriously.
even Renee O'Connor that played Gabrielle from Cena. She was underrated. She really was.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and Callisto. Hudson Lake that played Callisto. She was the
She,
nerd that guys ignored in school, and I'm thinking, boy, did they screw up.
she reminded me of my first wife entirely too much with her part in Xena. I'm going,
Well, yeah, that was the character she played, but, you know.
uh-huh. I was married to a woman like that. Get me out of here.
Oh, which job, Megan?
Yeah, really. Oh, being in bed with that actor, I suppose. Just
Oh,
at
Baltor?
a guest. At a guess.
But yeah. Good grief, it's 2:58.
I know. We've got to say goodnight, Gracie. And I've got to
I've been
run
up for over
the
22 hours straight.
damn, and you're not even at a con
Yep.
yet. Oh, acting in a role
I,
where you'd have Lucy
I,
Lawless
I,
in bed.
I figured that one out
Hey,
after I spoke. Sorry,
honey,
Megan. Like I
I
said,
don't
I've
believe
been up.
there's I don't believe there's anybody on earth under the age of 85 that would turn that job down.
Nutrition Helfer's not a bad consolation prize either. Yeah, sorry, Megan. I've been up for over 22 hours. I was a little slow to gather that one.
Well, if it's anything like when I have been up for excessive number of hours, I wind up getting funnier. My humor goes beyond
Oh
the
well.
green room.
I'll definitely get some sleep. I won't have any trouble falling asleep. I shouldn't anyway.
Well, Megan, you are about to experience the bedtime story for the first time. Please do watch the end credits all the way through.
I already told her about it.
Oh, you bugger.
Yeah, go good, guys.
And thank all of you for being here with us tonight.
Yep, you'll understand.
And I really appreciate every time that y'all make time to be here with my silly self and make me look good. Um, you're far more entertaining than I am.
Nah, I'm just
No,
particularly
really,
tall.
really, really. Um, I'm serious. I'd hang out with y'all any day of the week that I could, and probably pass out and wake up the next morning and go, "Where'd they go? I miss them so
What do you mean? You
much."
have done that.
Yeah, I've done that several times, but that was on camera. I'm talking about in real life.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. Aunt Donna see me do it in real life.
yeah,
I'm sitting there at a table with Aunt Donna and Uncle Carl, and I nod off. Next thing I know, they're 6 tables away going, "Oh, we didn't want to wake Dan up. He needs to sleep, young boy."
yeah. Mm, I have kind of made sure that you made it to your room.
Well, you made sure I made it to a room.
Yeah,
Didn't know whether or not it was mine at the time, but the door
yeah,
opened when I waved the key at it.
yeah.
Um, there were several ladies that were angry about that you get me back to my own room instead of theirs, but
Yeah.
I didn't get divorced, so
Yeah, that was
there is
kind of the
that.
plan. I was trying to save you some grief and financial difficulty, among other things.
One day we'll have to have a long talk with that boy. Ah,
Yeah, well, we can do it. We can discuss it over a bottle of fine spirit.
several bottles of fine spirits and several spirits of fine bottles too.
Yep.
Um, all right. Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Got to figure out whether or not that party invitation from my brother is on Saturday night, where I would not be able to show up for either show. Um, Friday night in the green room, I would not be able to survive without.
It is
Which
therapeutic.
Happy Father's Day, Dan.
Yep.
Oh well, thank you, thank you.
Yep. Happy
Um,
Father's Day to any father out there
I'm,
watching,
I'm,
Father's Day.
listening, or participating.
I might actually get a call from uh, a couple of the kids. Um, Michelle at least will text me, and Sharon will probably put it on Messenger. Um, Sean, he's wrapped up in that little baby that they just had. That boy is so happy he's got a daughter. I swear, it's just the absolute sweetest thing. I can't say enough about how lucky that he is to be a father again after 18 years and have this gorgeous little girl that's just learning to walk now. Oh man, it's so special. It's so special. And I've got grandchildren and great grandchildren the same sort of age. Um, all of it, it's overwhelming. It really is. I love all my kids. Uh,
As you should.
well, there are people that claim that they're not mine because I had to marry somebody to get them. But stepdads are real too.
Yeah,
Um,
and if they consider you your father, you're their father.
well, I've made it plain. I'm not trying to be their father.
No, father,
Uh,
stepfather,
I'll
stepdad, whatever.
I'm content to earn my own place. And if they
Yeah,
want to consider me papa or daddy or whatever, but their father is their father.
yeah, yeah.
Th- that's something that they should never forget. And I'm their mother's husband. and I do my best by them, and always have, always will. This does not get us any closer to the end of the story or the end of the show. Stop distracting me, Chris. You know
Good
how
night,
I love
everybody.
you know how I love the sound of my own damn voice. Uh,
Good night, everybody. Go good, guys.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
oh, now I've got to click down. There it is. Good night, Mrs. McGillicuddy, wherever you are. Now I can't even quote Red Skelton correctly.
Good night, Mr. and Mrs. McGillicuddy and all the ships at sea.
Arrgh.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.